What's up, ladies and gentlemen, Nakusoo here, and today we will be continuing onward with Mega Man 7, and we will be going on and fighting Junkman today, and he is weak to the Thunderbolt. So this is probably my favorite level, not just because of the awesome claw that Junkman has, just because of the pretty decent music it has too. And I am pretty fond of the background. We see electrical currents going through the background. We'll also be seeing some stuff that we will have to use. Not to mention these annoying cockroaches, which I shouldn't go backwards because they will probably respawn. Now the reason I like the T-Boat so much is because it can be used to destroy a lot of enemies in one hit. If I can destroy that like that, and it can also destroy these hives in one hit where these bugs come out of. And they're pretty gracious with their refills from enemies. I know when I played the first Mega Man game that it was pretty difficult in terms of getting refills from enemies, and these are pretty easy to dodge. You can either attack them or not. You can use them to get refills, or you can avoid them if you do so wish. Now you see lava down here, right? That means we are going to be having to come back. So yes, we're going to have to do some backtracking on the stage, and this will be in this video. I'm going to try and get everything we will have to do for the rest of the bosses. So we have this electric generator, and if you remember, Dr. Light gave us a clue that we can use this to power up electronics. And this is the only way that I believe to destroy those enemies that slide on the ground. I'm not sure what they're called. If anyone knows what those enemies are called, please let me know. Not only that, we will get access to item by doing this, which will be Rush Jet. And Rush Jet will be used in this stage and Freeze Man stage and the Dr. Wily stages in order to bypass some things. So we'll be careful to wait for this to come down because I'm paranoid of getting smushed. And yeah, that will kill you in one hit. Now this is a good instance where we can use Rush Jet to get across. Be careful not to hit your head on these magnet beams, just dodge them carefully, and you don't have to fight that worm. So we got past there, and we can use it one more time in order to bypass this next section. Otherwise you will have to jump from platform to platform, and you risk of having to destroy those blocks as well. So as we come down and hopefully destroy this without getting hit, awesome. We will be coming to a Mets, and I believe these die in one hit too, right? Yeah, those die in one hit too, and we are already at Junkman, so this was pretty quick. So this is Junkman. Now at the start, I'm going to let him do what he has to do, and as long as we are careful, we can beat him. I'm just going to show this off as what his normal attack pattern would be. So you can just jump over that. Normally he will crash down on it, and you can't attack him. Oh, whoa, you can attack him. Holy cow, I never did that before. Usually he just gets his shield on when that happens. But yeah, usually that happens, and I'm going to actually let him jump up again. So yeah, you can time that and kind of wiggle around to avoid that, because I do want to show off what he does. So after, ouch, that, and he can get multiple hits on you if he does that. He will let loose that attack, which will stun you and hurt you. So let's not die now since I've shown that off. And we will be able to defeat Junkman without any issues. And it is not a problem if we use our weapons because our weapons will be refreshed. And we will get another awesome weapon, which has a few uses. I like it. I like the concept of it, but I don't use it much. The Junk Shield. I will be using this at certain parts though, and the Junk Shield is good. It's not as good as Woodman's Leaf Shield, but it is the second best. The second best shield in the series, of the classic series anyway, in my opinion. And the black and white color scheme, so we got the Junk Shield. And I will be able to show it off in Freeze Man stage because there are some parts where it comes in handy. So Freeze Man, the hardest robot master in my opinion in this game. He may even be harder than the last boss after you get pretty decent at the last boss. And the last boss in this game is considered to be one of the hardest, if not the hardest in the Mega Man Classic series. So we can use Rush Jet up here in order to bypass some things. So we can bypass that little guy, and we can also bypass that bear and go straight up. Now this is where the junk shield will come in handy. After we dodge this bear, we can get a couple shots on him in order to destroy him. He dropped a big amount of health. So let's try and destroy you without any issues. And we can also destroy these common enemies right here, the shell enemies. And I will probably get that just because I want to refill this junk shield. It is Freeze Man's weakness after all. So I'm going to be switching back to my Mega Buster, which I could have technically just pressed the shoulder button to do. And now you're going to have to get this guy to trap the thing down. Otherwise you could use Rush Jet on that part as well to get across. But just for other completionist's sake, I will be showing off the difficult way for no apparent reason. And this part we will be able to get our next letter, and we only have to do one more after this. And I didn't want to Rush Jet, which I could use, but I'd rather use Rush Coil since it uses less energy. So let's see if I can do this without messing it up. Otherwise, you might be able to actually make that with Rush Jet. I'm not entirely sure. Huh. Actually, let's give it a try, guys. Let's see. Let's see if we can get up here with Rush Jet if you have them. Nope. Looks like you can't. So as we come down the next era, we can use Rush Jet as well, which he comes in handy collecting a lot of these things. Can destroy these little soldiers in one hit. I forgot what they're called. Snapper Joes, I believe? Yeah, I think that's the name. And this is another instance where we can use Rush Jet to get across in order to get Rush Search. And getting Rush Search will allow us to search, obviously, for things. But we will be going and using our Mega Buster to try and drop down without getting hit. It can be a little bit tricky, and I actually did it. Awesome. So far, I'm doing pretty good. Now, we'll be using Rush Jet again to bypass another section. And it is going... No, I wanted to bypass it. Darn you, game. Oh, well, I guess I can go and get their energy tank. So, this one right here kind of alternates between the little icicles in the ceiling. Also, he alternates between his normal attacks. So we will be using Rush Coil to get up here. You can use your normal jump to get up here, but I can never seem to do it correctly. Dodge the sled, guys, or you can use your shield in order to kill him easier, and you can just bypass and run past him, which is the easier way to do it. Sometimes you get hit though, so sometimes you might not be as lucky. But we will be using our Rush Search in order to get an item. Pretty hard to get. I'm not sure how you would get this normally if you didn't look it up, but we will be able to get the exit. And the exit allows us to leave a stage once we defeat a boss. So this is what I will use to backtrack a bit, and we only need the S. And if you remember, we will have to go right back to Junkman stage after this to get it, once we have the weapon of Freeze Man. And a little cool thing that happens once we start the boss fight. Bring it on, Freeze Man. Oh, you want me to bring it? Alright. So that's a pretty cool thing that does. A nice little animation. So you can also dodge him, and he will freeze the ground like that. And you can't beat him normally as the first boss, but it is really difficult to do, and I prefer just using a junk shield. Not bad at all, viewers. Not bad at all. And the freeze cracker fires ice bullets, doesn't it? Yes, and the bullets will split when they hit the ground. So this is pretty cool. It splits and it can hit multiple enemies Sadly, the freeze cracker is only strong as about one of the pellets from your Mega Buster, so other than a boss that we'll be facing, it doesn't really have that much use. And since we defeated all four of the Robot Masters, we will come back and talk to Dr. Light. Welcome home, Mega Man. So what do you think of Bass or Base, Dr. Light? And apparently he doesn't think he's a threat, because technically so far he hasn't caused any trouble other than fighting us to see how strong we are. So hopefully he isn't our enemy. He is a pretty cool character. And on screen it seems like something is happening. Wily is attacking the Robot Museum. Why would he attack the Robot Museum? So we have to leave. Alright, let's see what Wily's up to. What kind of tricks he's doing. And this is going to be a short stage where we will have to just use our Mega Buster and the Danger Wrap. And in the background, as you can see, a reminiscence, a cool thing. We can see previous, past Mega Man Robot Masters with Fireman and... Is that Fireman? Oh jeez. I am so terrible at the earlier Mega Man knowing the names of the bosses. So if someone would know the bosses that I just passed, would you actually tell me in the comments? And Wily, with his oddly enough Gutsman fetish, he will be able to take Gutsman, the first Robot Master that I fought in Mega Man 1. And we will actually be fighting Gutsman later on. So that's pretty cool, and this little clown right here will be a little annoying to face, which we can use the Danger Wrap in order to get some good damage on that head. So technically you can, if you're good enough, avoid his shots and kill him right off the bats. So we only had to hit him one more time, and there we go. That boss is down. Not difficult at all. It's a disaster. Wily and his robots are rampaging through the middle of the city. Well, we're gonna have to stop that. Get going. Alright. But before we actually go and fight the next Robot Masters on the next video, we will be going straight back into Junkman stage. So let's get straight into Junkman stage and continue to go back to where we seen that lava. Now I would normally cut, but if you are using this as a walkthrough, I don't really want to cut, and also I want to show if I die or not. So in the sake of having a no death run, I have to show everything. So as we go back, oh actually you know what, I can actually show off some other things besides the junk shell, which is easily a good weapon against a lot of these enemies in the stage. But I will be able to show off what the freeze cracker looks like and what it does. So you can hit it off the wall like that to destroy these Mets if you so do wish. But I want to bypass you Mets, thank you. And let's see how strong this is against these. Oh, okay, it kills those in one hit at least. And yeah, you can freeze the lava here, which is awesome. You can also use this gun in a directional. So we can use this to freeze. And you're going to want to freeze that because that'll break and you can get down here. And to the left will be our last letter. So after that breaks, we can get the S. And now you could normally go to the right in order to exit, but since we did get the exit stage, we can go and exit and we will be able to continue onward. There is nothing left for us to do. So on the next video, ladies and gentlemen, we will be taking on Slash Man and Spring Man. Oh, Spring Man. So on the next video, ladies and gentlemen, join me as we take on the next two Robot Masters. Until next time, take care and stay classy. Later, folks.